Discovering Your Greatness. I am Matt Kroupensky, and I am absolutely delighted to be here with you today to discuss probably the most important thing we can do at this point in time in our life. So let me start off with a story of American Indians where the grandson is with his grandfather, and his grandfather's teaching him about life. And his grandson asks, "Granddad, tell me about life." And the grandfather says, "Within each of us, there are two wolves. One that is bitter and mean, and one that is loving and generous. And throughout life, these two fight against each other." And the grandson looks at his grandfather and he says, "But grandfather, which one wins?" And he says, "That, the one which you feed." So today we're going to talk about feeding our superhero, the greatest version of ourselves, that being that we can love, that we can cherish, that being that makes life worth living. And so, what I would like to do today with you is to help you acquire wings to be able to soar within this new and wonderful world. Discovering greatness, the road to happiness and meaning. Before we came on air, we were talking with Julia about self-love. And she said, "Oh, Mac, I'm going to be doing a session on that very soon with my people." And what we were saying was, you cannot give what you do not have. So self-love is the alpha and the omega of our life. Where does greatness start? With loving yourself, with loving your body, with loving your mind, with loving your spirit. And from there, we need to get into working on it. How do you love? Well, you love by developing emotional resilience, mindfulness, learning to be present, compassion, feeling deeply for others, forgiveness. And forgiveness often starts with self-love. You need to forgive yourself for all of this mistreatment that we give ourselves. And finally, there's gratitude. Gratitude is without a doubt the magic pill that makes life worth living. From there, we need to cultivate friends, that family that was not given to us, but the family that we choose. Friends that inspire us, that demand from us, that want our greatness, and that are finally what I consider my greatest treasure in life, my friends. Yesterday was my birthday, and the love I received from all of my growth friends is truly astounding, and I am so thankful. So they say that we are the sum of the 5 people we have closest to us. Choose your friends carefully. They are vital. And then there's learning. Wow. Today, a student graduating from college, he would probably have to go through 5 or 6 different degrees throughout his life, because what he learned the first year, every 2 to 5 years, information on any subject is duplicating. So what he learned the first year, by the year he graduates, is obsolete. And you and me, what brought us here today, professionally, is not what is going to help us succeed tomorrow. Okay? So we need to never stop learning, being curious and creative, and finally, to discover our greatness, we need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Yes, vulnerable. You know, we've been taught, no, do not show your feelings. Be tough. Well, yes, but the greatest toughness is being able to be kind, to be loving, to admit that we are not perfect and that we need other people in our lives. So this is the framework. What I want to see with you over the next hour and 10 minutes, I want to start off by answering a profound question. Why is it so hard to be happy? No? We ask people, who wants to be happy? Everybody raises their hand, me. And then I ask people, honestly, how many of you are truly happy? And many few hands go up. What's going on? Well, we've learned more over the past 5 years of what goes on in our head than in the story of mankind. And I want to go into that because for me, the scientific side of what goes on helps me. You know, I'm a rational guy. So then I want to talk a little bit about stress, building emotional resilience, training gratitude, growth friends, and finally, a little bit about finding meaning in the lockdown. It's a little poetic piece I put together to close my conference. And finally, I open it up to the most important part, which is you, questions and answers. So let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you nomophobia. Nomophobia, what is that? Well, nomophobia is the new clinical disease associated with our phone. Disease with phone? Yeah. It has been found that the addiction to social media, to the phone, to the pings, which are terribly addictive. You know, us marketers have been very creative in getting people to not put their phone down. And it turns out that all these little pings have an effect on our body, like the guy that goes to the casino and cannot quit gambling because when he throws those dice, it's like the ping. Or the people that are constantly getting high, you know, like they say in Spanish, el toque, no? And the phone has an effect upon our body. You know, I mean, if in English the word dope comes from dopamine, okay, and those little pings create dopamine. And so we need to understand how to take control of our lives and quit being victims of other people's agendas that want to take over our being. So I found this little clip which made me laugh. And it says, so close to those that are far away and so far away from those that are near, how to fix it. Check this out.
Social media is great, It connects you to the world and the people you love. You can chat with your family or share a meal with friends and watch cute little cats do unbelievable things.
Look, she sticks her head out of the box.
Look, she sticks her head out of the box. But there are times when social media can get in the way of the real world. Remember that? It's the thing that happens when you run out of battery. That's why we've developed the Social Media Guard. It takes the social out of media and puts it back into your life. Let's see how it works.
Tell me if that's not awesome, like the collars we put on our pets so that they don't lick their wounds. Well, here's so you don't lick your phone. But really, let's get back to why it is so hard to be happy. Well, let me present you with the villain in our life, this huge elephant, and which represents the primitive brain, and the little rider on top, which is our neocortex, okay? So, if we really want to understand the problem with happiness, the problem with stress, the problem of taking charge of our lives, we need to go back 3,800 million years, okay? Within our mother's womb, something miraculous happens. We go through 3,800 million years of evolution in 9 months. And at 7 weeks, we've got gills and we've got a little tail. Basically, we're reptiles, okay? Everything that happened on Earth happens in us until finally we're born, and here we are. But we are the sum of all life before us. So in the center of our brain, we've got a reptilian brain that is not very compassionate, and we're constantly struggling against these things. And also nature has its own agenda. And evolution is very slow. So 20,000 years, it's a blink. And basically, our physiology, our mind is very similar to the mind of our cavemen ancestors. So nature has 2 rules. First, it wants us to survive for what? To be able to reproduce. Once we've survived to reproduce, nature says, I have achieved my objective, and you can be discarded. Now, fear is one of nature's most powerful tools. And repetition is absolutely critical. So we're programmed to repeat what we lived, even if it was horrible. I often ask, kids that have been through divorced parents and abusive parents, and they get divorced and are abusive, what is going on? Well, nature says if your parents survived and you're here, then you repeat the same thing, and the probability that I will be able to fulfill my objective, my agenda, grows. Now, I come from divorced parents, and it was hell. I hated it. But, in this primal chip, I'm programmed to say, send everything to hell, get divorced when anything comes up. And basically, I need it to work. I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. And it is what emotional resilience is all about. And also, we're programmed to want stability over everything else. And I mean, in a world that's changing like it's changing right now, stability, give me a break. That is truly very, very bad advice. And happiness, I mean, you saw the happy caveman, and he would get eaten by the tiger. So being happy is not part of the basic programming. So what do we need to do? We need to understand the beast in our head that clouds our vision, that stresses us out, and makes us act irrationally. And so over the next hour, we're going to learn how to tame it and put it to work on our behalf. Okay? So let's get going. Training happiness. How do we train it? Well, first thing we need to do is we need to address nomophobia. Yep. Get that cell phone off our table, okay? Most of us, the first thing we do when we wake up is we grab that phone and we see the messages. No, bad news. First thing you need to do is get that phone off the table and buy an alarm clock. I mean, they're super cheap. And before you get up, visualize the people, the creatures, the wonderful things in your life, and start off the day with gratitude. Then get hold of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Now, how do you do that? Well, every day I have something that I call my golden hour. I get up, and the first thing I do is I read 20 minutes. Then I do 20 minutes of strenuous exercise, and then I meditate 20 minutes. Now, maybe you'll say, Mac, I don't have an hour. Fine. Start off with 15 minutes, 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of exercise, 5 minutes of meditation. You're not going to tell me you don't have 15 minutes, okay? And then go working it up. It's going to change your life, okay? Then, during the day, get into the mindfulness. Leonardo da Vinci, he said that our senses are the vicars of the soul. Beautiful, isn't it? And when we learn, rather than look, to really see the colors, the beauty of the world around us, it fills our heart. Rather than just hearing, learn to listen. The music in the world, the song of the birds, the laughter of the children, even the sound of traffic, if you learn to listen to it, can be musical. And then when you sit down to eat, savor the smells, the flavors. Be thankful for that food. Who grew it? Who brought it? Who cooked it? And the creature that's giving its life so that you can live. I mean, it's profound. And then during the day, re-encounter yourself time and time again. And when you meet with your fellow workers, try and discover something they're doing right. We've been programmed to be looking for what's wrong. That's the basic programming. Put it on its head. What are they doing right? People seem to look to people that are finding what's right with them. They look at them as though they were leaders, and they follow them with pleasure and with greater dedication. And primitive mind gets bored very quickly. Okay? So here, what we need to do is we need to trick it. And even though our significant other is in the next room and we've been in the lockdown and we saw them 5 minutes ago, we need to imagine we haven't seen them in a month. And then we come out. Oh, my sweetheart. Oh, how I love you. What beautiful eyes you have. What a wonderful smile, you know. They're going to say, well, I don't know what happened to him or happened to her, but I like it. You know? So we need to learn how to reprogram ourselves to be able to train ourselves to be happy. So, cultivating emotional resilience. Gratitude is the magic pill. But let me get into compassion, because compassion for me is the reason I'm here today with you. All of us have had mentors in our lives. I met my mentor 15 years ago. And it turned out that my mentor was my oldest son, Mac, when he was 20 years old. At that point in time, I was managing director in a global company. And the board loved me. You know, I had sayings like, this quarter's numbers are not a matter of life and death. There's something much more important. And I'd always hit the number, you know? And then my son gets cancer and he says, Dad, you're the only one that can help me. And I said, okay, well, that's my job. And I find a little hospital run by nuns and I move in to take care of him at night. And during those 2 weeks before he passed on, I learned the principle of compassion. All of a sudden, I understood that I was here not to serve myself, but to serve others. And when one is serving someone else, one has all the energy in the world. The purpose of our life is clear. And when he passed away, I asked myself, what do you want your tombstone to say? You sold more products to more people for more money more quickly? And I got a chill. I said, no, I don't know what I want, but that definitely is not what I want. And I told my wife, my wonderful, beautiful, loving wife, I said, sweetheart, would you mind if we sold the big house, bought something smaller? I want to start over again. I don't know what I want, but it's clear to me the road I've taken is not the one that I want to continue on. She said, sure, I'll support you on anything you do. What a gift. And today I know exactly what I want to do. I want to be here with you. I want my tombstone to say, he made a difference in the lives of 10 million people. And I'm well on my way. And you being here with me is part of the fulfillment of my mission in life. Thank you. Thank you for dedicating time to be here with me. It really, really makes a difference. Acceptance. Okay. You see, it's got its own agenda. And part of emotional resilience is being able to understand the difference between what we can change and what we can't change, what we can change, go for it, that we cannot change. We need to put it in the proper perspective, okay? Just like the lesson that my son gave me. You know, a lot of people, when they lose a son, they become bitter. I learned to honor his life and his death by having him be my mentor and inspiring me to change my life and be here with you today. Also, meaning. You see, we need to have meaning in our lives. If we do not have meaning, then everything is superficial and vain. But when we have meaning, when we understand that we're here to serve, to really add value to people's lives, then life is worthwhile. And finally, we need to learn to forgive. First ourselves, for all the mistreatment that we've done upon ourselves. We need to ask for forgiveness for those that we have hurt. And then finally, yes, we need to learn to take out of our heart that bitterness of those that we feel have offended us and we do not want to forgive them. You know? So this is all emotional resilience. You know, all this year I built a course of 10 weeks towards emotional resilience. I've had over 25,000 people take it, and it is wonderful. Huh? So let's talk a little bit about stress and building emotional resilience. Well, I've been bankrupt 6 times. I've gotten cancer, diabetes. I've been kidnapped time and time again. And one time I even died. What? Well, yeah, thank God. All this happened only in my head. How important it is to recognize that most of our fears don't come true. Think about it. How many of our fears really come true? How many stories we tell ourselves and we torture ourselves? So let's learn to be resilient. Now, what is stress? How to manage it? Well, stress is very, very, very important in our lives. I mean, stress is what nature created to keep us alive. So when we feel stress, it has to do with this flight and fight response. You know, I mean, it's nature's way of making sure that we survive until we can reproduce. Now, in times of our cavemen ancestors, they'd get stressed maybe once or twice a year when a tiger wanted to eat them, you know. They lived in a dangerous place once or twice a month. But in modern society, we're getting stressed before the COVID lockdown 23 times a day. You know, the ping on the phone call, the email, the client, the report, the bill, okay, the kids, the trash. I mean, just everything, no? And basically, each one of those little pings is putting that flight and fight response to work. So we're not able to rest. And that lack of rest in the stress is killing us. A staggering 75% of all health problems are due to stress. Let's get into that. Look, what happens when we get stressed? Well, first, blood pressure goes up. Why? Because we're talking about fight or flight. Strengthen the arms, strengthen the legs, be able to box, or be able to run. Okay? Now, energy is basic to life. So, which is the system in our body that consumes most energy? Well, it's the immune system. So, we get stressed, cuts it off. I mean, as far as nature is concerned, stress means live or die. Okay? So later on, after we get over the emergency, then the immune system can come back on. Sex and growth hormone production, way down. But blood sugar, okay, that spikes. Because if this fight hurts me and I'm cut and I'm bleeding, sugar in the blood helps it coagulate and keep me alive. So that's all fine and dandy if this guy's after you, but it is absolutely awful if it's due to the traffic jam or the COVID-19 lockdown. Okay? I mean, blood pressure rises, heart attack. Immune system shuts down. Okay, we're open to COVID. Sex and growth hormone diminish. Well, our sex life, just imagine, huh? And blood sugar spikes. Well, you've got diabetes. So, bottom line on stress, rather than saving us, it's killing us, creating anxiety, migraines, skin rashes, ulcers, and fostering all sorts of infections, and in extreme cases, generating heart attacks, diabetes, and cancer. I mean, this is huge. So, how do we face it? Well, turns out that 20% of all people in North America take some sort of stress medication, the most commonly known as Prozac. And yeah, it does calm you down, but you know, what's happening now, they're finding that they start putting kids on Prozac, 13, 14 years old, and when they want to get off it, they become suicidal. Okay? No good. Other people say, oh, look, when I get stressed, retail therapy. Well, yes. Okay, where does that come from? Novelty. The primitive mind loves novelty. And going shopping is novel. And it's fine until we get the credit card bill and then it spikes. Other people, well, they eat. Eating calms down the neurosis. Yep. Because to our cavemen ancestors, climbing up a tree, getting some fruit, some sugar, well, the body was programmed so you feel good. I mean, you had to work hard to get it or chase down an animal, go hunting, you know, get a little grease in your system. But today, sugar and grease is no further away than the refrigerator. And that takes us to obesity. Others, when they feel stressed, grab the booze, smoke the joint, you know. Here in Mexico, when you pick up the cup, you say, salud, which means health. I would say more like cirrhosis. But most of us, our addiction is to the screen. We're screen addicted, nomophobics, be it social media, be it Netflix, be it the video game, be it the evening news, okay? We sit there and we throw away our lives. So, all of these solutions, I mean, I ran an advertising agency. All these were my clients. And I helped them make a lot of money by making people believe that these things were truly helpful. But they're not. They're not. What works? Well, about 5,000 years ago in India, they started figuring out how the body works. And what works? Air, water, exercise, sleep, food. No, the basic things. And when you turn them into an art, then all of a sudden you learn really how to be able to handle stress. For example, in This side of the world, they found that praying, something like a rosary, you repeat the same sound time and time and time again. And forget about religion, but breath, repetition, right? And the other side of the world with meditation, breath, repetition, sound, be it amen, be it om. No? Let's just do a very simple breathing exercise right now, okay? So, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, smile, and exhale and say, ah. Good. Again, we inhale 4, we smile, we hold 2, and then we let go and we say, ah. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smile, hold 2, exhale, ah. Okay, so there we've got the ah. Now let's do the O. Okay, now we inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we imagine that we're yawning. Okay, and we say, one more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. We stretch and we yawn and we say, one more time. We inhale. We stretch and we yawn. Now just sit here. Just sit here. Feel how the body is calm. Huh? Beautiful, isn't it? And we didn't need any Prozac. We didn't need anything. We just needed to learn how to use air and sound. And talking about air and sound, well, singing opera, good gracious, that really gets the sound in the air going. Oh, boy. And friends, growth friends, not friends that we go get drunk with and stoned with. No. People that we build a better world with. Our growth friends are important. Or just getting together with people to laugh. There's sites right now where people get together and they laugh for no reason other than for the pleasure of laughter. Let's laugh. Come on, laugh with me. Oh my God, is laughing delicious. Woo! And just because I decide to laugh, all of a sudden it has created adrenaline. It makes me feel good. So when we learn how to just take charge of that we have, without anybody selling us anything, then we learn how to be happy and healthy and wise. But of all the things that will make us happy, you know what it is? It's what my mentor taught me. Serving someone else. We talk a lot about what we call multitasking. Multitasking, the mind can only focus on one thing at a time, okay? So while you're focused on helping somebody else, you're not worried about yourself. There's no self-pity. There's commitment, okay? So serving is the greatest way to confront stress. Okay, so the nagging voice in the head. Ah, the nagging voice in the head. I remember before I learned how to deal with my nagging voice in the head, boy, was I mean with myself, you know? I'd do something I didn't like and I would say, God, you're stupid. Stupid? You're an asshole, you know? I was I was just really down on myself. And after I had really offended myself, okay, now I feel great. Great. I felt like hell, you know? And then I started learning. I started learning how to take control of my emotions. And today, you know, I catch myself when I start and I do not permit myself to continue. It's a little bit like the joke of the guy that cuts himself shaving and he nicks himself. Like, oh, I cut all my face, you know. So yeah, we got to be wise. So we need to understand that thought is prayer. Now, science, you know, the whole quantum physics thing is fascinating. You know, have you seen it that when they're sending a particle through a slit and you look at it, it becomes a particle and then it becomes a wave and it goes one way or another depending if you're looking at it or not? We live in an intelligent universe, and the intelligent universe is a universe that provides, okay? Provides what you ask it for. No? I see all the time people right here in Mexico, winter is starting. Down in the south, it is now spring. But people say, no, ahí viene el invierno. There comes winter. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. What happens? They get sick. When I see people that duro y dale, no? They're going to fire me. 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 Well, we'll fire them. Then other people say, life is wonderful. I'm surrounded by love. Health and money flows to me easily. And people say, no, for the bad things, sure, but for the good things, no. Well, let me fill you on reality. Good things, bad things, universe provides. So learn to focus your thoughts on positive things and life will shine for you. Words are like the lampposts that guide our way. We need to transform bad stress into good. A stressor turns into stress when you feel like you can't handle it or it doesn't have a higher purpose. Think about how to reframe that stress and make it meaningful, okay? So the way to do it is called affirmations. They put it to work, okay? So, for example, you know, when I started mistreating myself, oh, you're stupid. Well, no, hold on a second. I did something stupid, but I'm not stupid. We never should put our dignity on the line. I mean, each one of us is unique. And life is blessed, and we're here with a mission to deliver a better world than the one we received. Okay, it's a big deal. For example, I'm going to get fired. Well, look, if you're saying I'm going to get fired, then you know why you're going to get fired. Quit being stupid. We know. I mean, I've been around enough people that get cancer, and all of a sudden they know exactly what's going on in their life. Okay? So when you realize that you're doing something wrong, then get to work on it. And if keep on doing this, I will get fired. What do I need to do? Man, you do it, okay? The same thing with your health. I'm going to get sick. Well, if you don't do exercise, if you don't drink enough water, if you don't sleep properly, if you're all stressed, well, sure you're going to get sick. What do you need to do? You need to get your life in order. Then you're not going to get sick. And right now, I hear all people say, I see no future. Well, they're looking at the past. Well, of course, you're not seeing any future. What brought us here is not going to take us there. But we're living in the most extraordinary time in all of history, okay? We need to learn. Get there and read your 20 minutes a day. If you read 20 minutes a day, you'll read a book a month, 12 books a year, okay? It will change your mindset. So start off by reading the lives of people that have been through difficult situations. They're fascinating. Huh? So catch yourself in the moment. You know what I say in Spanish, infraganti. No? And turn it upside down. Criticism, I'm still, wait up. Put your hand on your heart. I love, respect, and back myself. You know? When you feel lazy, how do you get yourself going? Well, get over the whim. Get on with your life's purpose. Purpose. Huh? Purpose trumps whim. Anger. Equanimity. I like controlling myself when others lose it. I used to lose it all the time. You know? People were scared of me. It was the way I would face fear. And yet then I'd feel horrible. And today when I see people losing it, well, I keep my cool. And it permits me to help people to recuperate their center more quickly. And finally, there is fear. Fear. How do we go to courage? I face what scares me. Go in front of it. Grab it. Look at it in the face, and it vanishes like a ghost or like a cloud. So, a little exercise for you. Think about 3 words that define your higher self, okay? The person that you want to be, how you want to face the world. My 3 words, present, brave, and cheerful. Why did I choose these 3? Well, present, because if I'm worried about the past, paralyzed about the future, nothing's going to happen. Brave, well, I was a timid child. And one day I said, I've had it. I went in front of everything that scared me, and it disappeared. Just like a ghost. Huh? And finally, cheerful. Well, we need to choose how we want to go through life. You want to be bitter? Be bitter. I choose to be cheerful. So, write your own, or use mine. Mine are pretty good. And learn it, repeat it several days to center yourself once and again all day long. You know, like before you go into a meeting, am I present? Am I really here to make it happen? Am I brave? Am I going to bring my best self forward? And am I cheerful? Am I going to create light and simplicity for the rest? Okay? Powerful stuff. So, resilience. 8 things to build resilience. And they're so damn simple, they seem stupid, and yet each one of these could fill a life. And they do. They do. Breathing. I mean, just buy yourself a book on breathing. It is absolutely extraordinary. For example, I just finished Chopra's last book, and they found out we have a nerve, which is the largest nerve in our body. It's called the vagus nerve, and it unites our 3 brains. 3 brains, yep. We've got neurons here, in the heart, and in the stomach. And probably the stomach brain was the first brain that we had. No? So when you breathe in 4, hold 2, let out 4, Do that during 5 minutes. It neutralizes the three brains. It gets them all in sync. That's what meditation does. It syncs us up so that the natural processes of health can do their job. Breathing is key. Daily exercise, 20 minutes of exercise a day is going to keep you healthy, okay? I do something that's called the Los cinco ritos tibetanos de la eterna juventud. So what would that be in English? The 5 Tibetan rites of eternal youth. Huh? Wonderful. They say that age is manifest in our spinal cord. Keep it supple. Important. Drinking lots of water. Our brain is 80% water. You don't drink enough water, it shrivels up. Just like your skin shrivels up, your stomach shrivels up, you become constipated. A couple of liters, that's all. In the morning, first thing I do is I drink half a liter of water before I get out of bed. Drink water. Eat healthy. 2/3 of your plate should be vegetables. 2/3, okay? That'll keep the body healthy. And there's a whole new science of the microbiome. I mean, we've got more DNA in our body from the microorganisms that live in us than from our own DNA. Fascinating stuff. Look into it. Or follow me. I talk a lot about that stuff. Getting enough sleep, 7-8 hours, using affirmations, cultivating growth friends, I'll get into that in a moment, and helping someone else, okay? They seem simple, but you do these things, and you will acquire emotional resilience. You'll be happy, healthy, wealthy, beautiful, loved. Oh, yeah. So, talking about the magic pill. Well, imagine your energy is depleted, you're feeling down and out, and you decide to go see a doctor. After a thorough examination, he prescribes you a pill that has been proven scientifically to increase your energy, improve your mood, generate optimism, better your relationships, help you sleep, strengthen your immune system, lengthen your life, and it even helps you make more money. What's more? The pill has no side effects, and it is a super cheap generic. Would you take it? Yes! Well, it turns out that the miraculous pill is gratitude, and it is found within the medicine cabinet of our being. So, developing gratitude can boost your happiness by 25%. Let me give you a couple of exercises. Albert Einstein used to say, there are 2 ways to live your life. One, as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is. So, let's imagine everything's a miracle, okay? I want you to open up your gratitude journal. Grab a book, do it on your iPad. Yeah, just 3 things for which you're grateful when you go to bed. Okay? 3 of the gifts that life has given you today. And you jot it down. During a month, don't repeat any. In a month, you'll have 90, 100 things that you're grateful for. I mean, and you'll start wanting to do it. And I mean, when the last thing you do at night, okay, this is important, is fill your mind with gratitude. And the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up is be thankful. Then you close the loop, because the mind works on the last information you fed it. So if the last information you fed it was the horrible news on the TV, then it's going to work all night trying to resolve it. If the last thing you fed into it was gratitude and thankfulness, and you write those things down and then you make them like a movie in your mind, remembering them, and you wake up with gratitude, your life is going to change. Now, all of us have had mentors in our lives, no? Write a letter of gratitude to that mentor. Imagine if that mentor was a teacher you had, or a boss that's now retired, or a family member. And you think of your life, how was my life before I met you? What was our relationship like? What is my life now like? And you write it and you rewrite it until it's perfect. Then you have it framed. And then you call the person, you say, I need to see you. Or if you're in lockdown, you send it to them. And you say, wait, don't open it till we're on the Zoom call. And you read it. It is going to open the heart. It is going to change your lives. Imagine some teacher you had, which is now retired, or a boss. And all of a sudden, they put it on their wall and they look at it and they say, you know what? My life was worth a while. And for you, I assure you, 25% greater happiness that month for having done this. But for them, it can truly change their lives. Okay, so gratitude is powerful. Now, growth friends. Okay, here, let me give you an exercise that, and I'll send you these slides. Okay, so first, we need to understand that you can judge a man by the company he keeps, and it has been found scientifically that people in the company that we keep influence us with up to 3 degrees of separation. What does that mean? They influence us because of the people that we have close to us, the friends of our friends, and the friends of the friends of our friends. Okay? It has been found that obesity is addictive. We're social animals. We want to be like the people around us. Divorce, debt, just like love, health and wealth. They're all addictive. Choose your friends wisely. So, how do we do it? Well, step number 1. Target the people you spend the most time with and group them into one of these 3 groups: old friends, self-interested friends, and growth friends. Old friends, well, people who know all that. Self-interested friends are people that we deal with in business, you know. And growth friends are people that they care about us, care enough about us to get on our case and help us. And people that we truly feel inspired to be around. Okay, so now think about how you can increase the time you spend with your growth friends. And maybe you say, oh, I don't have enough growth friends. Fine. Where do I find them? Well, step number 2. How do I fill my life with positive people and experiences? Well, think about people that you admire, you can hang out with, or ask them to be your mentors. Social activities where I can find people that share my highest values and where I can do transcendent work together. Or courses I can take where I can meet great people who want to grow and make new friends. And then fill it out. Okay? And finally, step 3. Determine the first step you'll take to expand your growth friendship network. Okay? Set a date and do it now. Finally, finding meaning in the lockdown. A little poetic journal I put together for you. Okay? Before the lockdown, many of us were already imprisoned by a series of limiting beliefs. The insatiable obsession of more had already imprisoned many of us in a world of diminishing returns. For freedom is not found in our possessions or in going out, but in being in control of our body, our mind, and our spirit. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." And let's think about Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in jail, during which he built a strategy that freed South Africa from racism. Or Viktor Frankl, imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp, wrote the book man's search for meaning, which transformed millions of lives. So, don't tell me that the lockdown has got you down. Stop whining. Greatness is calling. Time. Today we have received the greatest gift of all. Time. What will you tell your grandchildren when they ask you, what did you do during the historic COVID-19 lockdown? Well, I sat around and suffered and complained and was bitter. Or I sought greatness. Yes, everything depends on defining your life's purpose. Ask yourself 5 times, why am I here and how can I make a true difference in the world? When you ask yourself time and time again, we always come to the same conclusion. I am here to serve. And it is in service that my life becomes meaningful. So, go ahead. Embrace freedom in the lockdown. Embrace your freedom to create, your freedom to dream, and your freedom to build a life you'll love to live. Spend quality time reading, writing, and meditating, building your mindfulness muscle, filling your heart with joy and your mind with purpose and vision. This is your time. Define your true life's purpose. Use the gift of the lockdown wisely. Embrace the freedom that you have today to reinvent yourself and emerge stronger and better prepared from this lockdown to lead a new and better world. To finish, let me recap the 5 steps towards embracing your greatness. Start by loving yourself and your body and your mind and in your soul. Good gracious. Do exercise. Drink water. Get enough sleep. Eat healthy. Learn to breathe. My God. The mind. Learning to work that mind and that spirit. Developing that emotional resilience of being present, of being compassionate, of being human, of getting rid of that cancer in your soul, and being grateful. Ah, yes. This is what life is all about. This is what is meaningful. And you're not alone. We're surrounded by so many beautiful people. Let yourself be loved. Become that magnet by loving yourself, and the universe will bring to you the people that you need to keep on growing and have a life that is worth living, full of joy, happiness, and wealth. No? Become curious. Never stop learning. Be creative. Read 20 minutes a day, at least. I mean, I read a book a week, okay? And it's not enough. But that 52 books a year keeps me on my toes. With one a month, 20 minutes a day, it is going to change your life. And you're going to be able to face the world with a type of readiness that's going to make you successful, okay? And finally, allow yourself to be vulnerable. Admit that you don't know everything. Open yourself up to love, to help, to those growth friendships, and to be happy. So, with that, I open up to the most important part of this presentation, which is you.